If you have working eyes and saw the title of this video, you know I'm ranking the Kingdom Hearts games. Well, technically, if you don't count Kingdom Hearts Chain Memories on the Game Boy Advance, Coded Mobile, Recoded 358 over 2 days, and the other mobile games, and Melody of Memories. And if you don't like that I'm not covering every game, send your complaints to Square Enix for making these two movies and putting a section of huge story into a mobile game. And you can send a complaint to me for Melody of Memories. I'm not playing that shit. My ranking will go in order of my least favorite to most favorite, and show the tier that each game fits in. The overall order is definitely subject to change, but the tiering is not, or I've definitely had a life-changing experience with that game to do so. Everything after this section of the video will be pretty much unscripted. Finally, if you agree or disagree with me, let me know down in the comments. Hey, one more thing I'm adding in here for good measure, and that is, there will be some spoilers in here for some of the games. Not all of them, I don't think I cover all of spoilers in all the games, but just some like final bosses here and there that I just drop. So be warned. But with that, let's begin. 0.2, a fragmentary passage. You know, when thinking about this video, I almost forgot about this game. That's just how forgettable it is. This is basically just a glorified tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's cool that you get to play as Aqua. It's cool that Aqua is back again. But, God, the gameplay and the overall look of the game, everything just feels so bland and uninspired. It just feels like a demo, and like, I mean, going back to replay this game, it's just like, I'd rather just play Kingdom Hearts 3. There's a severe lack of moves and combos, even magic just feels so limited, and it's so short. Like, I don't have a problem with short games. I like, in recent memory, like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I love that. Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game. Like, I like short games, but this one's like 3 hours. I get it, it's a demo, but there's no substance to it. It looks good, but the environments are just so bland that, I think the only interesting part of this game is that you get to like dress up Aqua. You can put like different colors on her. You can put like animal ears and like tails and stuff on her, like wings, all sorts of things. That's the coolest part. The fights are just boring. Enemies are they're just 1000 heartless. You know, just blobs and blobs of heartless. That's all it is. The story is just like, the story doesn't even make sense. I forgot how it even ties into Kingdom Hearts 3, really. But if it did one thing, it does get you kind of a little bit excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. But with that, I'm gonna have to give 0.2 a fragmentary passage and big ol' fat F tier because of how bland and uninspiring it is. The next game is Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, or well, Kingdom Hearts 3D. The D's standing for Dream Drop Distance. Really creative, I love the names of these games. Now this is like an actual like Kingdom Hearts game compared to Fragmentary Passage. It's just that it's my least favorite out of them. The combat is pretty good. I actually like the combat. It reminded me of kind of Kingdom Hearts 1-ish. Kind of like, I don't know, Birth by Sleep a little bit. Like, it's a mixture and a concoction of different Kingdom Hearts fighting styles. But the story is just where everything falls off. I feel like this is like when Kingdom Hearts got a little too complicated, you know? Throw in young Xanor. What is young Xanor? How does that work? Why does Sora and Riku have to be kids again? It feels like it's just pandering to Kingdom Hearts 1 fans to get them to buy this game. It's so confusing. They brought in time travel, dreams, and inception with dreams within dreams. Riku's story doesn't make sense. I also have some complaints with the gameplay. Mainly the main gimmick of the game. The drop meter, the drop system. I hate that. It forces you to switch to another character. So then if you don't want that to happen, you can prevent it, but it's annoying to buy items for it. You have to buy, drop me knots, you know? And you have to keep on using the drop me knots. It's obtrusive. What I like to do is just play through one character's story, get that done with, and then switch to the other character because, it kind of like a new game plus, sort of, but not like a new game plus. It's just you're dropping it to the next character. I actually do like the Dream Eaters though. I think they're a neat addition, and I really like the designs of them. They're really Pokemon-like, and that's a good thing. But they feel Kingdom Heartsy, and I liked taking care of them and, playing the mini games with them, even though, I think the water barrel one basically gave you free, affinity and stuff. I like that they use the command deck system. I also find it, cool that it's a weird experience because it's a 3DS game, but I played it on, PS4, PS5, and it's just I'm playing a 3DS game on, the PS4 and PS5. That's so cool. I haven't played The World Ends With You, but it's cool that their characters are in it. Ooh, Flow Motion. I forgot about Flow Motion. It's alright. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it combat feels fast, with it, and it's a fun addition. But I just wasn't really I wasn't sold on it. Going back to the drop system, I also forgot it can be so just intrusive because you could be fighting a boss fight, the boss fight of the world that you're in, and then you go there unprepared, with maybe one of the gauges still there, and then it drops down, and then you have to switch to a character, and then you lose all your progress on that boss fight. Maybe you had it down to a sliver of health left, and your drop gauge just goes down, and then you have to switch to Riku or something. It's just terrible. It's a bad game design thing. The worlds, there's 7 of them. And not even that many really, because there's Twilight Town and The World Ends With You, which are both great worlds in this game, but they're nothing new. They're things we've already seen before. But some of my favorites were the Fantasia one, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I do like the Pinocchio world better than Monstro. Really, that's about it. I think there's the Tron world and the Musketeer one. I hated those. Those are bad. I feel like there's one that I'm just forgetting, but it can't be that good because I'm obviously forgetting it. Everything about it is just such a mindfuck of bad choices and decisions and just making it overly complicated when it didn't need to be. But I do find some enjoyment with, upgrading the Dream Eaters and playing with the Dream Eaters and stuff. Some of the worlds are fun. I like the combat a little bit. But with that, I'm gonna have to sadly give Dream Drop Distance a D tier. Alright, so our next game is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which is the kind of remaster, kind of 3D-ish remake of sorts of Chain of Memories, that was put on the final mix versions. And this game is just so different from the rest of the series. Even games like Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance they all kind of, like 358 over 2 days recoded, they kind of all have the command deck system. This has more of a card deck, like an actual card deck system. It is similar, I guess, in sorts to the command deck, but it has some differences like the 0 card and stuff like that. And also mainly that the only way to deal damage is just by using the cards. There is no just normal attack. But I feel like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is kind of split down the middle of a game. On one side you have probably one of the better, genuinely good stories in Kingdom Hearts and the entire franchise. And on the other half, you have the bad gameplay of sorts that is just so different from Kingdom Hearts. I mean, one of the biggest things that I can think of is just that exploring and navigating through the worlds of this game is just super annoying because they're all randomly generated, and I kind of just want to skip over enemies in this game because I find it annoying. Now, I'm sure that this is better on the Game Boy Advance, but well, that's maybe I'll play the Game Boy Advance one. But this is Chain of Memories. Things that I do like about this game, though, is that it's really important in the grand scheme of things. It's one of the most important games, and it's just funny how this was originally on the Game Boy Advance, and like it really sets up like Kingdom Hearts 2. It has like such important characters and like things that are introduced, like Naminé, the organization introduced, Axel, Larxene, Marluxia. All of them, pretty much like a lot of the organization members are introduced. I think Diz, I forget his name, Diz is introduced. And it also does some cool things, like you can play as Riku. This is the first time we get to play as Riku in the games. And Riku really feels different from Sora, and he's a lot more fun. I really liked his campaign in this game. I really liked the final bosses. I actually really like the final bosses of these two games. I think they're really solid. And well, just like a lot of the bosses in the game are actually pretty like good. They're really challenging and they're really fun. I really like battling in this game, like the bosses, but like enemies, just regular enemies, your regular Joe schmucks. I hate going against them. They're tedious, and navigating through these stupid, randomly generated worlds is and the story in those worlds are just basically the same thing, but even worse because it's text-based and like it's literally just going through what Kingdom Hearts 1 is because Sora's losing his memory. But that's a cool concept. It just doesn't work with this because, you know, he's losing his memory and stuff. But I love the story surrounding the organization and the ending, which sets up for Kingdom Hearts 2. We also get to see the first iteration of Twilight Town, which is one of my favorite worlds locations in Kingdom Hearts. But I mean, just it's kind of just like down the middle, really. And so with that, Chain of Memories gets a C tier. C for Chain of Memories. Alright, this one's going to be a very decisive one. I'm on the teetering edge of what tier I want to put this one in, but our next game is Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm gonna preface this by saying that, like, there's complaints that are like, oh, I waited like 19-20 years for this, you know. that a lot of people say. I obviously didn't, because I wasn't even born when like Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2 was out or released. But like, you did not wait 19 years. There was a bunch of other Kingdom Hearts games that were released during that time, you know. But it is quite a leap, a lunge of sorts, from like Dream Drop distance to Kingdom Hearts 3. That is a long year span of like nothing really. I mean, I guess the mobile games, but who cares about them? And you can see like such a drastic change. I mean, like, compare Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 to 3, just in the graphic fidelity. It's almost uncanny, really, like how different and more realistic the characters look. This might be kind of like an unpopular opinion, but sometimes I'm not like really a huge fan of like how good I think it looks, because like I like the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and like just all the other games, really. Art style and graphics. Let's start with the story. The story is just God, like, I don't, it brings over the Dream Drop distance of very confusing. We're having all these concepts and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god. But there is a lot of like fan service and stuff that I like about it, and I won't lie, it did get me emotional at times playing it. One of my, I think, favorite segments was the where all the like, you have Ansem, Xemnas, and young Xanhord fighting you, all three together. I think that was one of my favorite parts, just of how cool it was, and like all of their ending speeches and stuff. And of course the whole graveyard, the Keyblade graveyard stuff, those battles, I really like those. It Roxas and stuff and Xion, it's fan servicey, but it's cool. It's fan servicey, Roxas and Xion being kind of brought back, but you know, it's the third one. It's the ending of this whole saga and stuff. They had to. I thought the final battle with Master Xanhord was really epic. Although it's kind of a power of friendship ending, but it's Kingdom Hearts. And I think it's still important, like, no matter like how cheesy it can be, that you still have those messages in media. This is intended for like kids, you know. Well, everyone. It's intended for everyone. Aqua coming back, Ventus, Terra, just really cool to see. It's really awesome. There's just a lot of like familiar faces and stuff. It really feels kind of like the ending and closing a book of a sort of chapter, you know? Gameplay. Okay, this one's like coming off from like Birth by Sleep and like Dream Drop Distance. I think it's better than Dream Drop Distance, its combat and gameplay. But no, I wouldn't say like Birth by Sleep, or definitely not 2, and maybe 1. Definitely better than Chain Memories though. It's just, I think people have said it, it's just very floaty. It feels like Sora has like a balloon. It feels like Sora has a balloon tied to him, and he's just always fighting in the air. But it did get grounded at times. There are also things like the attractions, the Disney attractions, with their super long cutscenes. When you summon them, they can get really long. I think they added in something where you can skip them, which, I mean, still, like, I just kind of don't have an urge to use them in combat. This game is also kind of just easier than everything else. I played on like normal mode, and it was really, it was a breeze, bro. I was kind of feeling bad for the enemies I was slaughtering through. There's some things that are just questionable, like the Keyblade forms and stuff. I would have preferred drive forms to come back, but I mean, the Keyblade things are alright. There's nothing inherently bad with them. But onto the main thing, and that is just pacing in the Disney worlds of this game are actual trash, and they're terrible. They bring this game down. Like, there's some good ones, like the good ones are the ones that do its own story and kind of tie into the main story. And those are like Toy Story and like Monstropolis, the Monsters Inc. world. But you have ones that are like the Tangled and the Frozen world. Now let me say, I get that it's more of a Disney fault. It's not really Square Enix fault. They put limitations and stuff on what they could use, but it just feels like I'm watching the Disney movie, but worse, because it has like Sora fan fiction thrown into it, and then like I just feel like I'm watching, like, if I'm not playing the game, I'm just watching like the Disney movie, but Sora and Donald Goofy are in it. They don't really tie into the story, and it's just boring. I hate, like, Rapunzel is just like moving around, and you have to like talk to her and stuff, and you have to watch her little animations where she swings you around. The Frozen world, it's just a snow world, and I don't really like that. They don't really go to I think it's called Arendelle, or wherever the city, castle, town, whatever it's called, because that place actually looks cool in the movie. But the worlds actually do look good. I remember the Pirates of the Caribbean one, Toy Story, those look great and really impressive. There's also like some complaints that a lot of the bosses were just heartless. There wasn't really, like people, there wasn't like a lot of organization members that you fought, or any other character for that matter that you just fought. And I know this really is kind of a complaint that won't really apply to like any of the others, but the trailers really kind of spoiled a lot of the good moments from this game. The big important moments, I mean, they showed the final area in like the trailers and the like opening of the game. I thought that world was going to be more prevalent because it's just a cool looking world and so interesting. It was kind of like a Twilight Town and like a world that never was, but you barely play in it, and it's just so sad to see. Also, of course, Dark Aqua, not really like that huge of a deal in the game. It's just so sad to see all his dreams and hopes crumbled. And while I'm thinking of this, I think I mentioned the whole Roxas, like, Shion nominee coming back, but I'm like thinking about it, I'm not really a fan of that. Like, definitely Roxas and like Naminé, I feel like their stories were like concluded into, and they really like just did not need to be expanded upon. Definitely Roxas, because like I choose kind of to forget that this happens in this game, because it kind of ruins the experience of 2 and just the emotional impact of that. I hate the stupid gummy phone loading screens that show up. What an odd addition to put in the Kingdom Hearts games. I don't think anyone was like, Kingdom Hearts needs Instagram in their loading screens. It, like, there could be like an important moment going on, and it'll be like, and Riku shows up and he's like, hashtag no filter, shit. Like, what? I feel like the main thing that really killed it was the anticipation of something grander. And oh my god, also, there's like barely any Final Fantasy characters. It feels like Kingdom Hearts is kind of straying away from its Final Fantasy roots. I think only Cloud and maybe Sephiroth are in the game. There's only 2. And like, Final Fantasy 15 was out. Why couldn't they put like Noctis, or I mean they put Noctis kind of in the game, but like, why couldn't they put Noctis, Prompto, Ignis, Gladio into the game? Maybe even Arden. Like, it doesn't need to be that many Final Fantasy characters, but like, Final Fantasy 15 came out. They should have been in the game. But yeah, with that, I think I'm sadly gonna have to give Kingdom Hearts 3 like a C tier, because it's just that the gameplay is kind of not that great, and the whole pacing of the game is just horrendous, and of course the Disney worlds are kind of boring at times. So that leads me to the C tier conclusion, although I was teetering on the edge of like a C and B tier, so this one definitely is up to change. Alright, our next game is Kingdom Hearts 1, the original Kingdom Hearts. I know, blasphemy, but it's... everything kind of feels a little bit dated in this game. The camera, it's a lot more grounded and heavy, really, but that's not a bad thing, because, I mean, getting those tech points really feels satisfying, and it feels like you're hitting your opponent. It really feels like you're really, like, clobbering them, you know? It feels kind of slow sometimes, you know? There's really one thing that, like, I remember that just, like, going back to it, like, would really scare me, and that's because it has, like, no mini-map, you know? There's no mini-map on any of the worlds, and, like, that's insane. It's insane to think about, because you get so used to it in the other games. I think even Chain of Memories has it, but this is very, like, just, like, such a comfort game. It's very comforting. I mean, really, like, Traverse Town is just, like, oh my god, it's so satisfying, so soothing hearing that music, and it just looks nice. It's very dark, and, you feel safe there, and of course, you know, later in the game, you don't feel safe there. Not even Traverse Town is safe. There's a lot of things I just like about this game, and its storytelling is very simple, but that's what Kingdom Hearts needs. It just needs to be simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. There's such, like, it's the, like, pioneer, you know, it's the founding, and it's still, like, it's still one of the best, you know. A lot of the designs are just super sick. You got Sora, Donald, Goofy, the Heartless, just iconic things. The Final Fantasy characters. There's Final Fantasy characters in this game. And the worlds. Oh, I got some issues with the worlds. But like, for every good world you have, you know, like Alice in Wonderland, Hollow Bastion, Destiny Islands. Destiny Islands is such a banger, bro. I love Destiny Islands. I just love the beginning of this game. There's just like a horrible filler world to add on to that. You got like Tarzan, Monstro, what else is horrible? Like Agrabah. I hate Agrabah in this game because I hate the Cave of Wonders. It's so annoying. It's labyrinthy. A lot of things in this game are just very labyrinthy. They're very puzzle inspiring. And you have no map. You have no fucking Zelda gives you a map, bro. They feel like filler, and there's some that do further the plot, but there's some that just don't, and they, ugh. But I think it's just like such a weird idea, putting Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters together. Like that should not work, but it does. And I love that it uses a lot of like Disney Renaissance kind of movies to use in its worlds. Well, that's mainly for Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 kind of furthers that. It's just a very solid game, although it does have, I think it's one of the more, it's all three of the games that are coming up are just very consistent, and they stay true to what they are. But there are like huge low points, labyrinth-like Monstro is just actual, the Cave of Wonders, the jungle area in Tarzan, Atlantica. I just love that KH1. It feels like a Disney movie, you know. It doesn't have the more campier, really like balls to the walls plot that like Kingdom Hearts 3 Dream Drop Distance has. So I would just say it's a good game. I love the Ansem fight. I think the final boss with Ansem is probably the hardest final boss in the series. It's because you have like 3 forms to face. And I like Ansem. Ansem sounds cool. And in Kingdom Hearts 1, like, has a lot of the foundation down. And it's just like a good game, but it has some like flaws to it. So I'm gonna have to give it the blasphemous A tier. It's so close to S tier, but it doesn't. I can't like overlook the labyrinth-like worlds and the kind of filler of these worlds. Alright, our next game is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. One that I wasn't really expecting to be this high, but it just kind of felt wrong that like I felt like wrong just putting this one over Kingdom Hearts 1. But thinking back, I'm just like, I have a lot more fun with this one than I do Kingdom Hearts 1, which and like I almost felt ashamed for liking this one. But I really like this one. I think the best thing about this game is just its combat and gameplay. It's some of the most fun I've had with Kingdom Hearts. Even almost comparable to the likes of Kingdom Hearts 2, really. And it's surprising, like, this was on a handheld, on the PSP. You wouldn't really, like, expect it to have, I feel like a lot of the Kingdom Hearts, from what I've heard, like, Recoded and stuff, have some of the better, like, some of the best gameplay, which is really surprising. I love the command deck system. I love melding and putting different commands on. It's just super cool using different moves. I love just, like, it feels kind of like you're upgrading your moves and stuff, and you at the end of the game, you're an absolute beast. There's also D-Links. I loved the D-Link system because I just love seeing the image of whatever character you put on and using them, and then they like upgrade and like they feel more powerful. I love that. And so in the Mickey one is super useful because I think it gives you more XP, so you just use it, and it made kind of grinding fun. I just love like making new moves, you know, like seeing what move I can make, what super like incredible move I can make with the command deck. And there's something, I forget the name, I don't know what it is, but like you get these kind of I also love like the abilities that you could put on. You could turn on and off. And like, I think there's one like EXP walker. Like that. What, bro? That's cool. I loved like seeing what of those I can make. And of course, I'm forgetting the biggest thing is I don't think like any Kingdom Hearts game has ever even tried was 3 heroes to play as. Wow! This is like one of the reasons why I love this game. I just love using Aqua, Vint, and Terra. They all have some of the best designs I've seen. A lot of the characters in this game just have some of the best designs. And I love the overlap in story where like Terra's plays into Vint's story, Aqua's plays into Terra's story, you know. Like there's a bunch of overlap, you know. And you piece them together, each campaign story playthrough. And I find that the most charming part about this game. Also, the worlds in this game are really good. They're a lot smaller because it's on a handheld. But I think that's actually in its favor because they never feel like kind of filler-ish from like the likes of Kingdom Hearts 1. And there's really good picks here. There's a lot of old Disney, like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, but there's some cooler, newer, modern ones like Lilo and Stitch, which one thing I find a little bit saddening about the Lilo and Stitch one is that you don't actually go to the to Hawaii. You're just in the like spaceship thing. There's Peter Pan. I feel like the Peter Pan one was actually really like good. One that I didn't like was the I can't remember it. It's like this Disney Town world. I hated that one. It was just like come on, man, we can do better. And that stupid fucking ice cream minigame that you have to play in the main story. Who the fuck thought of that? It's one of the worst minigames I've ever played in Kingdom Hearts. Of course, there's Radiant Garden, which is, you know, it ties into Kingdom Hearts 2. I found that really fun. There's just, like, they're really solid picks for the worlds. I really like the worlds in this game. And, like, the you know, like, the like world where the world map where you go to each world, I find that like one of the best world maps in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. It may be because it's a smaller amount of worlds. I feel like it's really fun to like zip around, you know. And of course I have to bash on Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, young Zack is in this game. That's cool. That's awesome. But I actually didn't really like the Hercules world. I thought that was also a stupid one. Also, I don't think I've even talked about the story yet. It's not like the main thing I would say going for it, but like it's alright. It's not like the best story. I feel like Kingdom Hearts 2, the ending of that, you know, it just looked cool, but I feel like it spoiled basically the entire plot of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And so you were kind of expecting more from it, but it's serviceable. I like Master Ericus and Master Xehanort, but I actually felt like their voice actors should have kind of been swapped, because I feel like Mark Hamill would have better suited for Xehanort, which it eventually did though for Kingdom Hearts 3, because the other actor sadly passed away. I mean, you can think that I feel like a lot of decisions in this game can be chalked up to being dumb and stupid in the story department. Like Master Ericus could come off as stupid. He kind of does. I mean, why doesn't he, you see that, like, Master Xehanort is like a bad guy. He's clearly an evil dude. Like, I feel like there's also just, like, a lot of, like, complaints against the voice actors, like Terra. I think Terra is a cool character. I think he does a nice job. Yeah, his voice acting, a lot of their voice actors, like Aqua and Terra, can come off as stoic and robotic. But I feel like that's just bad voice direction, you know? Not really the actor's fault. Also, Terra isn't really that stupid either. Terra's really cool. Oh, and one more thing I want to add on to the gameplay. I love how each character feels different, you know? You have Terra, more Kingdom Hearts 1-y, kind of more grounded. But he's different because he's taller, and that adds into his gameplay. Ventus is really shorter and and he's more kind of fast, more speedy type. And Aqua is the more magic base, and she's kind of at a medium height. And they all feel different, and they all kind of feel different from Sora, which is really, really neat of them to pull off. But I think also another complaint is that Ventus just looks too similar to Roxas. Really, just like, it's basically Roxas color swapped. Or palette swapped. It's basically just Roxas palette swapped. But Birth by Sleep, really good game. I love it. And it's gonna be an S tier for me. Good job. Our final game is, I don't think it needs any introduction. It's Kingdom Hearts 2. What a phenomenal game. I mean, I think the, like, Roxas part just solos any of the games on here. It's just so good. I like, the Roxas part is, like, the best thing I think I've seen of the entire franchise, and it's one of my favorite things in just, like, video games, really. It's just, like, such a emotional roller coaster. I mean, yeah, it's the beginning of the game. It can be very tutorial-esque in the gameplay side. But I feel like Kingdom Hearts 2 is just super replayable. It has probably the best story. Kingdom Hearts 2 has the best story, the best gameplay, I don't know, the best utilization of, like, worlds and stuff. And I'm not, like, I actually would maybe give that to Birth by Sleep, but because there is some, like, filler worlds in this, but there's really good worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's really good. It's the best in the main line, you know, like, main titles, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3. It's really good here. Like I said with Kingdom Hearts 1, you know, they have a lot more Renaissance movies here. You have, like, Mulan, The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast gets its own world. Really cool stuff. Gameplay-wise, there's also, you know, Steamboat Willie. What a cool idea. Tron is, not my first pick. I feel like Tron kind of got revitalized when Kingdom Hearts 2 put it in there. All the Tron fans really got wild after that one. Pirates of the Caribbean. Also not a first pick. And also, like, you know, like, you have, like, discount Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom in the game. The organization is here. All the remaining members are here getting the show off. Xemnas is in the game, and I love Xemnas. Xemnas has such a cool voice, cool striking voice. And he just looks so awesome and so, like, gameplay, you know, the drive system, summons, they're all good. I love the drive system. It's probably one of my favorite things about KH2. I love the different forms and stuff you get, and upgrading them. The 1000 Heartless Battle. Come on, the 1000 Heartless Battle is in this game. That is such a iconic moment. Again, Final Fantasy characters in this game. There's 10-2 characters, but they don't really make sense in this game. They're just kind of there. But hey, Auron's in the game. Auron's cool. Auron's f***ing badass, bro. It's such a massive improvement from KH1 and Chain of Memories. In presentation, gameplay, maps to the worlds and stuff, not very labyrinth-like. Yeah, they're a little bit more linear, but I prefer that. I mean, like, take the Cave of Wonders, for example. I love the Cave of Wonders in KH2, but I hate it in the KH1. I also think, like, I feel like Sora kind of has, like, the best design in this one. He just looks... I feel like pretty much all the characters have, like, probably their best designs in this or Birth by Sleep. Anti-forms in here, and I think just a cool concept with the drive forms. It's kind of, you know, penalizing the player a little bit. It's like a penalty to the player for overusing the drive forms a lot. I played Kingdom Hearts 2 in critical mode, and I loved it. It's the only one that I played on critical, because I'm too much of a pussy to do it on the other one. But it was some of the most fun I've had. I love the boss fights in this game. They're like, I remember just hating gimmicks. I hated gimmicks. But I can't lie, it's definitely one of the parts that I remember the most. I love the final boss. I love, like, the world that never was. I think it's just such a cool concept. And it's just fun to explore. Of course, Twilight Town, you know. God, this game is so good. Insane improvement. And the best in the series. Leads to Kingdom Hearts 2 getting a good old S tier. But there is a fatal flaw, and that is Atlantica. Thanks for watching. Bye.